Mr. Stephen Smith from Perth writes,
Okay, I want to know why so many of our Perth icons are being slowly changed to Aboriginal names. I don't remember being asked if that's okay. This is so typical of especially WA government, trying to keep the peace and continue to blow smoke up the black ass. Aboriginal people nationwide, but particularly in WA, are completely void of any concept of forgiveness. A case in point, rather than forgive as God forgives, they choose to spear a member of their family. Aboriginal people will never assimilate into Western Australia society until they do that. And they need to stop being so angry, violent, and unsensibly bashing people in Northbridge. Perth people don't like you.
Mr. Smith went on to say,
Also, I'm a racist dickhead.
Okay, he didn't say that last part, but that doesn't mean he isn't one. Obviously, Mr. Smith and everyone that liked his post is wrong, and he is likely using a fake profile and/or name, but does appear to come from Perth. For the racists that do not think he is wrong, let's get into it. The post is factually incorrect on every single claim it makes about name changes, government actions, Aboriginal forgiveness, assimilation, and violence in Northbridge. Mr. Smith claims that so many of our Perth icons are being slowly changed to Aboriginal names. This is wrong because the changes are limited dual naming initiatives such as Perth also recognized as Boorloo, and specific park renamings like Black Boy Park to Coolyanga or Banks Reserve adjustments that retain original English names alongside Noongar terms. No major Perth icons such as the Swan River, Kings Park, or Central Landmarks have had their primary names replaced or erased. Mr. Smith claims that he does not remember being asked if that is okay. This is wrong because the dual naming and recognition processes occur through documented public consultation with Whadjuk elders via the Noongar settlement agreements and local government forums, not secret actions. The lack of personal recall by one individual does not equal absence of consultation processes. Mr. Smith claims that this is typical of the WA government trying to keep the peace and blow smoke up the black ass. This is wrong because the policies stem from legal obligations under the Noongar Recognition Act and Closing the Gap framework addressing historical dispossession on Whadjuk Noongar land, not appeasement. The derogatory phrasing has zero connection to Northbridge-specific events. Mr. Smith claims that Aboriginal people nationwide, but particularly in WA, are completely void of any concept of forgiveness. This is wrong because it is a blanket stereotype with no supporting data. Numerous Noongar-led reconciliation programs, apologies, and community healing initiatives exist in WA, and the claim has no factual link to any Northbridge incident. Mr. Smith claims that as a case in point, rather than forgive as God forgives, they choose to spear a member of their family. This is wrong because spearing refers to traditional customary payback justice applied in some remote Aboriginal communities for serious interfamily or intragroup offences under recognized customary law, not a universal practice, not an urban Perth or Northbridge occurrence, and not evidence of lacking forgiveness. The example has zero connection to Northbridge, an urban nightlife precinct on Whadjuk Noongar land. Mr. Smith claims that Aboriginal people will never assimilate into Western Australia society until they forgive in that manner. This is wrong because the term assimilation refers to a failed historical government policy of forced cultural erasure, not a current requirement. Many Noongar people are integrated into WA society while maintaining cultural identity, and the claim falsely links a remote customary practice to urban assimilation failure with no evidence. Mr. Smith claims that they need to stop being so angry, violent, and unsensibly bashing people in Northbridge. This is wrong because while Northbridge records high assault rates linked to alcohol and nightlife, the violence involves multiple demographic groups and is not exclusively or primarily caused by Aboriginal people acting out inherent anger. Aboriginal overrepresentation in WA violent offence statistics exists but is directly tied to measurable factors such as intergenerational trauma, not an absence of forgiveness or cultural refusal to assimilate. The generalization ignores that Aboriginal people are also disproportionately victims of violence in the same precinct and has no supporting data for the angry violent characterization as the root cause. Mr. Smith claims that Perth people don't like you. This is wrong because it is an unsubstantiated personal opinion presented as collective fact with no polling, survey, or evidence. It has no factual connection to Northbridge crime data or any of the preceding claims and serves only as inflammatory generalization directed at all Aboriginal people. Additional point 1. Aboriginal people were forced not to speak their own language through systematic government mission and school policies designed to erase culture and enforce assimilation, making the current name recognitions a direct counter to that suppression on Whadjuk Noongar land. Additional point 2. Aboriginal people have the right to defend their land from invaders if they choose, as they are the sovereign traditional owners who never ceded their territory, providing the foundational context for why name recognition and cultural revival are justified responses to historical invasion rather than unprovoked actions. Every claim in the post is baseless and disconnected from the factual history of Northbridge and Perth.